Hey crafty people, it's Tasha. Welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited to be taking part in the video hop for the Trinity Stamps Sweet Shop release day. I'm going to be making 2 cards using some of the products from this new release, and I want to be sort of going into how I like to add little extra bits to my cards. So these are all of the images from the Bear Sweet Shop stamp set that is so freaking adorable. But I coloured them all off screen to save a little bit of time, and then I'm just adding some different highlights and extra bits to them that I like to do that I think really elevate your cards and your images. So I'm starting off with a good old white gel pen. Now I know that this is a super old hack technique, but it really does make such a big difference with your images. I feel like it just sort of brings them to life a bit more. It gives them more of a, like a 3D feel, and I just think that it really can elevate your colouring. And it also helps if maybe you're not the most confident colorist, yeah. If you're not the most confident with adding your shadows and highlights and things, then after you've coloured, you can just go in with a white gel pen and add some really simple highlights. So for a lot of these images, I didn't do any shading. I didn't for the gumball machine, any of the jars of sweets. For the majority of the counter, I added a few extra lines of different coloured brown to make it sort of woody. I added a little bit of shading on the till, and I added a little bit of shading on the 2 bears that are going to be in there. But other than that, every bit of detail is just added with pen afterwards. So the next pen that I like to use is a Glaze pen. These are all Jelly Roll. I use the black Glaze pen to add. I've added it to my little bears' noses, to their eyes, and I just think that it just sort of brings it to life again. It adds a little bit of extra detail that really makes those images pop. The next one is relatively new to me, and this is the Jelly Roll Stardust pen, and it's like a glitter kind of pen, but it's not like Wink of Stella kind of brush glitter. This is a gel pen, so it's really good for adding little dots and lines of detail, and that's what I did on that candy floss, and it really brought it to life. So moving on from pens, I also love to add glossy accents. So I'm going to go through all of my images here, and I added it to everywhere that I thought would be like glass or I'd want reflection. So I've added it to the gumball machine and to all of my jars, and obviously when you first put it on, it goes on a bit cloudy, but you leave that to dry, and it really makes a huge difference. So I've cut all of my little images out there. I don't actually use all of these images on this card. I just wanted to show you lots of different ways that I like to add those accents. So now I'm going to make a super quick and easy abstract background for my shop. I'm not really in the mood for doing a big scene card. I enjoy sometimes, but it's a lot of work, and sometimes I'm just not in the mood for it, but I want to add these fun scenes. I just want to skip the background. So here I'm just using a swiping technique to add some different coloured sort of rusty brown to the bottom, and that's just going to mimic a floor. And then I've grabbed some blue colours, and I'm just adding some blue to the upper background, and that's just going to mimic a sky. I know that it's not super realistic. I don't intend it to be. I don't need it to be. It's a card. It's a card where there's bears that have a sweet shop. So, you know, it doesn't need to be realistic. So I've just added some darker of the colour of the blue, like around the edges, just because I think that I like to have darker around the edges to bring your eye into the centre. It's just a really super quick and easy way. It just fades into the background, and yeah, it's a bit of a cheaty way to making a scene card with these adorable bears in their sweet shop. So I sort of figured out where I wanted the placement of everything to be, and then I just adhered them straight onto that card. I used some foam adhesive on the counter and the little bear, and then the rest I added straight to the background, and then I've just added a little sentiment strip there that I've also popped up on foam, and that's that card finished. So next I'm going to be making a card with the new Sunsational stamp. So this is one of Love Danny Studios' awesome word stamps that she's got. I love them, and they're a really great size to make small cards. Now I'm not sure what the official size of this card is. I don't know whether this is what a 4-bar is, because I don't really know that. But basically I took an A2 panel and folded it in half, and just scored it in the middle and folded it in half, and that makes the perfect size for this little stamp, and I just think that's awesome. So again, I'm creating a super quick background, just throwing some ink down, just taken those same rusty orange brown kind of inks. The inks that I'm using today are all Pinkfresh, and I've just done a stripe of each one, and as luck would have it, it fits perfectly across that card base that I've got. So I did just dry that off, because I don't want to risk my ink where I'm stamping on top. I don't want it to sort of bleed into that background. So I've set my stamp up in place in my MISTI, and I am just adding some, this is the Blackout ink from InkOn3, and I'm just going to stamp that design straight down onto that background. Again, the background, the colour, I just wanted some colour in the background. I didn't want to spend ages doing things. I've just added some colour. I'm going to stamp this twice, and I'm giving it a good press with my stamp pressing tool thing from Trinity, just to make sure that I've got a really good even and clear image. So as I said, I did stamp that twice, and then you could leave it like that, but I'm going to grab those same pens and do some little extra bits that are going to step this card up to something really, really fun and exciting, that really took no time at all. So I've added some orange Copic over that sun word, and I think even just like that makes it pop, and it's awesome. But for the Sational, sun and then Sational, for the Sational bit, I'm using that same Stardust or Starlight. I will have them linked, I will have the names. I'm not very good at that, you guys should know that by now. I'm using that same star something jelly roll pen to fill in the rest of the letters, and I really love that this pen is really easy to control. I couldn't do that with a Wink of Stella or any of those kind of brush ones, but because this is a gel pen, it's really easy to control and get in small spaces. So once I've done that, I decided to add a little bit to the sun, just sort of slapping it on anywhere where I thought it might look good, and I love how it came out so glittery and cute. I did decide that I just wanted to colour those hearts in, because where they are on the darker ink you couldn't see them as much. So I've coloured those hearts in, and that's it. That's my cards done. Like, simple but fun, and easy to do and replicate. So if you use any of these ideas, then please do tag me and Trinity so that we can see. Don't forget, this is a hop, so I have all of the hop details, giveaway details and everything below, along with the link to your next video in the hop. Don't forget to also hop over to Instagram, where we're having another celebratory release hop with even more inspiration. I hope that you have a lovely, happy, safe and wonderful week. Stay crafty. Bye.